Okay, so some of you mentioned in today's class the project was too dark to see the demo I showed you. You know how the demo on the software we will be using for this class. So that's why I'm recording a short video now to show you how to use the software. So let's first open Visual Studio. I already installed it, so I don't need to install it again. All right. So I created two C++ projects before, so I don't need to do it again. I just open the project I already installed. Okay. Let me show you how to use this. All right. So this is a simple sample code I wrote for this demo. So this will std is a namespace. Cout will print out the following information on your screen, and this can also this is a different function, but it's also used to print out some information on your screen. Okay, and this cin basically it means you need to manually enter something on your screen while after you execute your program. Okay, and then the number you entered will be assigned to this integer variable n. Okay, and this will print out what number you just entered. Okay. And next it will ask you to enter n floating numbers. So here you just cin. So you just need to enter n floating numbers one by one. And after you enter one floating number, you need to hit the enter on your keyboard. Okay, and that number will be allocated to fi. So f is a dynamic float array. Okay, so this will print out the floating numbers you just entered. Okay, and also before you end the program, is always a good habit to delete the dynamic floating array you use, because after this you may never after a point you may never use the dynamic floating array again. So you need to delete that array so that you can release the memory it occupies. Otherwise, that memory will always be occupied by F, and this is a memory leak issue. So next, after we created our program, we want to test it. So there are two modes: debug mode and release mode. When you use debug mode, you can set a breakpoint. So how do you set a breakpoint? You can just click here. You see, move your mouse here and then left click. Let's say here, left click. You see there is a breakpoint. So when you are in debug mode, you run it, the program will execute to this line and it will pause there. Let's try it. Okay, so you see, it's here, but we are not project anything. So let's we can also in debug mode we can also run the code line by line. So you can just use step over. Step over is one by one. So we can just press F10. It's a shortcut F10. So I just press F10 on my keyboard. F10. Okay. You see, because after I click F10, so it will run over this line. This line asks the user to enter a number, an integer number. So we need to enter a small integer number here. Let's say 3. Okay, hit enter. All right. Now we are back to this program. We can continue. If we want to continue line by line, we just press F10. See, this arrow jumps. F10 jumps, right? But if we just want to run it through until the next breakpoint or to the end, see here, continue, we just click continue. it will run through the entire program if there's no other breakpoint. You see, it is run through, but we need to still enter some floating number here. X, 99. Okay, hit enter. Now we are done. So this program now has completed. Press any key to close this window. All right. Okay. So this is how we use Visual Studio for debugging. You for testing, you know if you have some breakpoint, you don't want to stop. You just want to let the program run through. You just switch to the release mode. Then you just run. See, it won't stop here now. Okay, it will run through, but since here it will require some manual inputs, we need to enter something too. Let's see. Something is not going right. Okay. Oh, that's why it's not here. I have 10 in. It's where, let me see why. I see why, because you see this is still called the debugger. We need to change it. So if we just click this one, even though we switch from debugger to release, it will still pause here. But if we click here, see it starts without debugging. It should be good too. Okay, any number. All right, we are done here. Okay. So this is how we can use Visual Studio. But if you have a a second project, you can just go new here. Click project. Console F, C++. Then you just next, click next. And here is where you want to place your second project. You can go back and just see test project 2. Okay, and select this folder. Okay, so your new project will be placed in that folder. You just select it and then we click create. Okay, you see we have a new project, and in this new project you can just type the code you have. So I have prepared another test code. Let me show it to you. Okay. Test code 2. Okay, all right, here, copy and just delete everything and paste. All right, so this is a second C++ example. So in this example, we can enter some arguments before the program executes. Okay, so this interior number, it denotes the number of total arguments, and this is a vector. This is a vector. It has all the arguments, okay, including one default argument. So if we run it, that will continue to run. No, so we need to first build. Let's build. Okay, see, once succeeded, then we can run it. All right, you see, this is hello world, and there are one argument value from the computer. So, and by default, it is the directory to the executable file. Okay, and then program ends here. So we can close the window by pressing N key. All right. So this is how we use Visual Studio on Windows. So how do we connect to the servers? So one software we can use is Qt. So let me search. I already installed it. It's also a small software. It's free. You can just download it and install it. It's Qt. So here, once you install it, you open it. What you need to do is just to type the IP address of our server or the host name of our server. So this is the address you need to type in. It's you can find it from our first lecture. Okay, once you type the address here, you just click open. All right. So now we are trying to connect to our server. You see, this is the server address. So log in as, so you need to type in your Kubernetes account, Kubernetes username. For mine, it is XLR83. Then you hit enter. Okay. Then you need to type your Kubernetes account, the password. It won't show how many digits it has, but after you enter your word, you just hit the enter on your keyboard. Okay, so now I'm connected to the college servers. Okay, so there are some commonly used command pwd. It will tell you where you are right now. So this is the directory I'm in currently, and ls it will list all the files. Okay, all the files. So this is some parameters, optional parameters. So L means long, time means T means time. It will show the time here, and R is the reverse order. If we remove the R, it will rank in a different order, right? So I already uploaded the two source files here, so we can just compile it. So I already tried it. This is the default executable file name. Let's just further remove it. So IM means remove, I'll say delete a file, a.out, right? Then we hit enter. Now that a.out file has been deleted, we can verify that. See, that file is gone. We have already deleted it. So this is the source code. I already uploaded here. So now we can compile it, one of them on our server. So the code I uploaded here is C++, so we can use G++. If it's a C code, you use GCC. Okay. G++ space. Let's try the first one. All right. So G++ space and your source code file name. Don't forget the extension. Okay, and then you hit enter. Okay, now this file has been compiled, so it should generate an executable file with a default name a.out. Let's see. You see, there is a new file just generated, 602. It's the same time here, so it's an executable file that we just generated after this compiling line. Okay, so we can execute the code which we wrote. So what we do is dash, then we enter the executable file name. Okay, then we hit enter. It will execute the program we generated, the executable file we generated. We hit enter. Okay, you see, hello world, 2G3340 test point 1. So this is the code we have. Anyway, we already went it through. So hit enter a small integer number 3. Then we need to enter 3 floating numbers, any 3 numbers. Okay, if we enter a non-floating number, or say we enter some string, it will report an error. You can try that yourself. All right, you see, now we are done. So we can let's now try the second program. Okay, let's first delete this executable file. It is related to the first test code. Let's delete it. Okay. Okay, that file is gone. Now let's compile not the second test code. Okay, we're done. You see, we have a new executable file generated here. Now we can execute this file a.out. So by default, there will be one argument. Okay, and the default argument on Linux is different from Windows. See, this is the default argument. So on Windows, when you use Visual Studio on Windows, the default argument is the complete full path to the executable file, right? But on Linux, it's just the command line. So in addition to the default argument, we can have some user specified argument. This depends on your program, but in the second test example, we can enter any argument, and then it will print out all the arguments we entered plus the default one. Okay. So here we enter the 3, but we have 4 arguments because there is a one default argument, which is this one. Okay. Now let's hit enter. Okay, it will just run through because in the second sample code, it does not require us to manually enter anything, so it will just run through. Okay. So there are 4 arguments in total. The first one, the third one, the second, and the first, the default one. Okay. So don't remember, you need to compile your code and validate your code on the server before you submit your project assignment. After you are done with the server, you can exit using ECE3340. One more thing I want to show you is another software. Because using this software, you cannot transfer files from your local computer to the server. So you can just use this WinSCP. So it's also a small free software. You can just download it. So I already downloaded and installed it. So I don't need to do it again. I'll show you how to use it. After you open this WinSCP software, so how do you connect to the server? You also need to tell this software the server's address or the host name. So this is our server's host name, and here is your KuberNet account username, and this is your password. Then you log in. You click login. Okay. So I did not store my password. So each time I try to log in, I need to type my password again. Okay, let's now click OK. All right, so now we are connected to the server. So you see, this is the directory, my home directory on server. Here you can, it's the same, right? It's the same thing. And also the same files. Right? You see, a.out data file, the 2 source codes. What else? Public ATM is a folder. Bin is also a folder. Okay. So you see different colors here, right? They mean the file name, the type of that file or folder. Okay. So if you want to upload a file from your local computer, you just select it. So here you can change your directory. Once you are in the directory where you want to upload a file, you can just select it and upload it. Let's rename it. Okay, so we want to upload this file to the server. You just select it and then click here, upload. Okay, or you can select this so you don't see this box again. All right. So you see the file is here on the server. It's already on the server. This file was not here, right? You see, we don't have that code. But when we list all the files again, we should expect to see this file because this is the file we just uploaded. Let's try it. Okay. See here, it's here. This is the file we just uploaded. All right. And also, no, and also we can rename it. How do we rename a file? We use MV, MV test argument to the two. So you can type the type key to complete the file name if this is it's the unit the single line that has this in the file name. Okay, move. Then you can if you just want to change the file name, you just type a new name, say new name .cpp, hit enter. Okay, that's list all the files. You see, this is a new name, but this file is the same with this file. We just change the file name. See, this file should also change automatically, but we need to refresh where it is. Here, refresh. Okay, you see, this file name has changed. If we want to download any file from the server to our local computer, you just select it and then you click here, download. Click OK. You see, we now we have successfully downloaded a file from the server to our local computer. Okay. All right. And another software I didn't have time to go over into this lecture is the Cygwin. So Cygwin, it emulates the Linux environment. It also has a similar command line like this. Also similar. So this is the home directory. Let's see what file I have. Okay, all right. Has folder CD, the folder name. Okay, so this means we enter this folder. Okay, let's use pwd. You see now we're in this folder. Let's list all the files. Okay, so this is the file we just uploaded. No, we just downloaded it from the server. So this Cygwin is a local environment. No, if you don't have access to the remote server to our servers, you can use Cygwin. But if you can access to the server, you just use our server. Okay. So on Cygwin, you can also do GCC compile. So let's compile. Test. Okay. Hit enter. Now it compile. Let's show. So there is a new file. This was there was already an executable file, but we did not delete it. But when we compile it, the new generated executable file will replace the old one. See, the time is different, right? So we can also execute this one. And also you see there is a difference. The executable file has an extension of .exe, but here is .out. That's one of the differences. We can execute this file on Cygwin, our local environment, .-a.exe. Okay, see, it's the same code. It executes the same thing. We can press 2. That 4.9. Okay, now it's done. So you can use Cygwin to emulate a Linux environment on your local Windows computer, or you can, if you have internet, you can just connect to the servers. Okay, so when you connect to the server, your computer does not need to be a UH computer. You can use your own computer, but you can connect to the server when you are on campus. So if you are at home or you are somewhere not off campus, you cannot connect to our servers. But there's one trick you can do. So you can use VPN to connect to our college, our university, our campus internet, and then you can use the same way to connect to our college servers. And how to connect to the UH campus network. I have already uploaded a file on Blackboard. it's under the document tab. You can find that document there. Okay.